The Galactic Accord Summit was the grandest event the galaxy had ever known. It was to be held once every millennia, hosted in the neutral star system of Viridian 5, a place where warships were forbidden, weapons deactivated by powerful ancient fields, and grudges left at the airlocks. Over 1,000 species, many of whom had been locked in wars for centuries, would attend. And for the first time in recorded history, humanity had been invited. Most species in the galaxy still thought of humans as primitive, wild, chaotic. Their homeworld, Earth, was classified a death world, and their biology was seen as aggressive by design, survival through struggle. While most civilizations had evolved beyond violence, humans had embraced it, adapted it, and even romanticized it. Still, they had proven themselves too resourceful, too unpredictable to ignore. So the council invited them. The humans accepted. But no one was ready for what happened next. The summit began on schedule. Great vessels the size of moons hovered above the Viridian Accord station, and one by one, delegations arrived, drifting in on elegant, gravity-neutral crafts, surrounded by escorts clad in ceremonial armor. Conversations were tense but civil. Enemies shared nervous glances, diplomats exchanged cautious words. The air shimmered with importance. Then, the humans arrived. At first, there was silence. No ship was seen on the scanners. No formal docking procedures followed. The security grid, usually flawless, didn't even notice the anomaly until it was too late. A ripple spread through spacetime, and then, with a thunderous hum that made. The summit began on schedule. Great vessels the size of moons hovered above the Viridian Accord station, and one by one, delegations arrived, drifting in on elegant, gravity-neutral crafts, surrounded by escorts clad in ceremonial armor. Conversations were tense but civil. Enemies shared nervous glances, diplomats exchanged cautious words. The air shimmered with importance. Then, the humans arrived. At first, there was silence. No ship was seen on the scanners. No formal docking procedures followed. The security grid, usually flawless, didn't even notice the anomaly until it was too late. A ripple spread through spacetime, and then, with a thunderous hum that made even the station tremble, a colossal shadow appeared outside the summit dome. It was matte black, angular, with no visible lights. It absorbed radar, visuals, and even thought-sensing tech used by the telepaths. It didn't move so much as it arrived, a sudden monument against the stars. And then, like a ghost sliding through walls, a boarding pod detached and glided toward the summit chamber. No words. No warning. Every alien present tensed. Species that had warred for centuries now found themselves unified, in confusion and fear. When the door to the summit hissed open, silence fell. A single human entered. Female, tall by most species standards, dressed not in armor, but a sleek black diplomatic suit with a single silver insignia, no title, no flag. Just the sigil of Earth. Behind her came 4 figures, clad in obsidian exosuits, visors down. They didn't speak, didn't scan, didn't posture. They simply stood still like statues, their presence loud despite their silence. "Greetings," the woman said, her voice calm, smooth, carrying an authority that seemed to ripple through the air. "I am Ambassador Elaine Carter, representing the unified nations of Earth. We are honored by this invitation." Chancellor Irantel of the Greyland Hive tilted his massive head and muttered through mandibles, "You arrived unscanned, undetected. Is that standard procedure?" Elaine smiled. "It is, when we don't wish to be seen." A murmur swept through the chamber. The Dredge warlord Nalku, famous for his ironclad discipline, leaned toward his second-in-command and whispered, "We've tried tracking human ships before. They vanish between pulses. Our best AI thought it was a glitch." Another delegate, High Priestess Anari of the Velner Concord, adjusted the mental filters on her psychic halo. "She is calm," she said softly. "But her mind, it feels like it's walking through fire and snow at the same time. The humans took their seats. No flashy displays. No data spheres. Just silence. Watching. Listening. As the summit progressed, alien factions made speeches, some long, some fiery, some weeping. Treaties were discussed. Demands made. Concessions begged. But the humans said nothing until called upon. When their turn came, Elaine stood slowly, her presence alone enough to make a few species twitch unconsciously. Earth is new to this council, she began, but we are not new to conflict, to diplomacy, or to survival. We have learned the value of peace, through fire. So when we choose peace, we do so completely. Her eyes scanned the chamber. But know this, we do not make threats. We state truths. If war comes to our door again, it will not end at our doorstep. It will end. No boasting. No flexing. Just facts, delivered like iron in silk. And that's when it happened. The Summit AI, which monitored emotional spikes for security, triggered an alert, 73% of present species experiencing elevated fear response. Cortisol analog spiking. Initiating calming protocols. Lights dimmed. Soothing scents released into the air. But it didn't help. The aliens weren't afraid because of what the humans did. They were afraid because of what they didn't do. No weapons drawn. No threats made. No attempts to dominate the room. Just that terrifying certainty in their tone, and that ghost ship waiting silently outside, defying physics. By the time the summit ended, alliances had shifted. Former enemies clustered closer together, united, not against each other, but to understand them. The humans. Some whispered that inviting Earth had been a mistake. Others feared it had been too late. And back aboard their ship, as the vessel vanished again into untrackable space, Elaine finally turned to her escort team and said, "They're scared." One of the armored soldiers removed his helmet, revealing the calm, unscarred face of someone who had seen things the galaxy hadn't yet imagined. "They should be," he said. "Because humans didn't come to conquer. They came to warn."